Hey guys, welcome to the School Show. It's your host Paxton. We're here for week 3 with Jason. Go over our predictions, talk about some other things, Vikings, Texans. So we'll start off like we do every week because we are the School Show. We'll review Vikings Niners. Big win for Old McDonald had a farm and his team. So uh, I think that was a great win. I think that Shanahan was outcoached by Kevin O'Connell, whether you like to hear that or not. I think it's pretty true. Mike Zimmer, he gave up 44 points to Derek Carr. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Regular season for show, postseason for dough. That's what the 49ers are thinking. They didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings are just trying to make it to the postseason, so that it does matter for them. But we'll go over our predictions quick from last week. Bold predictions. You had one come off the board, and that was Sam Darnold will throw 3 interceptions versus the 49ers. That did not happen. He threw 1, and I had none come off the board. So so the bold prediction standings, I'm 1 for 1, 100% with 1 touchdown, near 0 for 3, 0%, 0 touchdowns. Then we go into game predictions. You had a 4-point lead on me before this week. You were 62%. I was 37%. However, after this week, I caught up pretty big. So now it is actually tied. We are
What?
both exactly 50%.
All right, I'll have to try harder this week.
You went 10 for 16 week 1. I went 10 for 16 week 2, and you went 6 for 16, which is what I went in week 1. So I said it would. I just need 1 week to get back, and here I am. So now we're tied in game predictions, and I'm dominating bold predictions. So you got to step up your game, I guess, and stop making such huge predictions.
Well, they're
Like
bold
too old to be put on
predictions.
IR.
I'm making bold predictions. You're making layup predictions, and then I let you back in it this week because I didn't want to crush by week 3. I didn't want the season to be over. So we'll be back now. No biggie.
I don't know about Jalen Naylor scoring a touchdown being a layup prediction versus the Giants, but
Oh yeah, he's got one
I
every
don't
week.
know.
He's on pace for 17.
Yeah, I mean that's true. However, okay, so I'm wondering if we give you the Tua prediction
Maybe
because
he passed away week 2 instead of week 1.
I have it written down as Tua will get put on IR after week 1 for the year, and it is
Ooh.
after week 1, and he is on the IR. So I think we'll give it to you.
Oh, we
And
like it. Nice.
so
Nice.
we'll make it so you're 1 for 3
Remember,
with
I put
1
my
touchdown.
disclaimer on there. I wasn't cheering for injury. I was just predicting injury.
Yeah, I mean, normally like that's one where it's kind of like, should I give it to you? But Tua getting put on IR, like that's such a specific injury and thing to happen. So we'll give it to you. So we'll get into this week's. Should we start with bold predictions or game predictions? Up to you.
We can do game.
All right. So 50-50 right now. So basically, we're 0-0. So we both got to do pretty good this week. So Thursday night football, Patriots at Jets. Every time in the Patriots game, I've been like, yeah, pick the other team easily, and they're 1-1, almost beat the Seahawks. And you were kind of thinking about taking the Patriots over the Seahawks, but you ended
Yep.
up making great decisions. So Patriots at Jets Thursday night football.
This one's easy. Patriots, I knew the first 2 weeks would be tough. Jets will beat them handily. And Thursday night games have been now after week 1. Thursday night games are usually terrible. They were last week. Probably will be
Yeah,
again this week. Jets will win the game.
I'm gonna go with the Jets as well. I think that the Patriots have been overperforming, Jets have been underperforming. Garrett Wilson hasn't been very good. Rodgers still looks like he's coming back from injury, and obviously Brees Hall is going to be good. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. Next game we have Giants at Browns. Ooh, this is probably not going to be a very good game. Giants lost to the Commanders by 2 last week, and the Browns barely beat the Jaguars. Who you got winning this?
Browns.
I'm going to go with the Browns as well. I don't think the Giants are very good. I don't think Danny Dimes is good at football. So next game we have Eagles at Saints. Us as Vikings fans don't really like either team in this. Saints have been dominating lately, and the Eagles, I don't know. So I'm gonna go with the Saints in this one, but I don't
Eagles.
know how to feel. Yeah. Texans at Vikings. I think that the Vikings were going to go 1-1 in the Niners versus Texans game. I believe I said that off the record. I predicted it off the record in one of the last two episodes. So I said they'd go 1-1 versus the Niners and Texans, and they beat the Niners, which means they'll lose to the Texans. So I got Texans, and I have to give a score prediction because it is Vikings game. So I will say Texans win 27-23.
Texans will win the game 20-19.
You have that being like a Texans game winner, Vikings failed game winning drive, or missed kick, or what?
Missed field goal at the end.
All right, 2019. So next game, Broncos at Buccaneers. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers in this one.
Bucks coming off a big win, could be a letdown. I'll still go Bucks.
Next game, Packers at Titans. This should be a actually really bad game. You predicted the Packers from the Super Bowl, so I'm assuming you're gonna go Packers, which is also what I'm gonna do. I predicted Packers last week versus the Colts, and you had them predicted at 0-2, so I think you have to have them having a win here. So I'm gonna go Packers.
I'm going Titans, but I still have the
Really?
Packers to win the Super Bowl. Yep. They're
So
fine.
the Packers go 1-2, including a loss to the Titans, and
Yep.
you have them winning the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay.
All
Interesting.
facts.
Interesting. Next game, Bears at Colts. Ooh. Who you got in this one? I don't even know.
Gosh, that's a tough one. Probably go Colts.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Colts as well. Caleb Williams has looked terrible in all of his games. I mean,
Well, I hope he's terrible, but the rumor, the word on the street is the O-line's the issue. But yeah, I hope he's always terrible.
I have a stat for you actually. So,
A what?
stat for you: Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, and I don't think I'm missing anyone. All of those 5 guys combined are tied with JJ McCarthy in touchdowns for the season, passing touchdowns. So
It's early.
that shows this rookie class might not be as good as people thought. Obviously, like people like Daniels has looked good, just not his team. Caleb Williams, his team's awful. May hasn't been playing. Penix hasn't been playing, but just kind of a funny stat that McCarthy's out for the year and has the same amount of touchdowns as all of them. So, yeah, that's all I got for that set. But Chargers at Steelers, both teams are actually 2-0. I'm starting to like the Harbaugh train, although more. I mean, they've had some pretty fluky games, but I am gonna go with the Chargers in this one. Their running game's pretty good.
I don't really want to go with the Steelers, but West Coast team going to the East Coast, I'm taking Steelers at home.
All right, next game, Dolphins at Seahawks. Ooh,
Dolphins at who?
Seattle Sea Chickens.
Oh, that's an easy one.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks in this one, just because Skylar Thompson I like is very good.
Sea Chickens win.
Yep. Next game, Panthers at Raiders. Oh, this is a terrible game. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. That's just an awful game.
That game is in Germany. I'm gonna go.
Raiders. Is it really?
Yep. 8 a.m.
It's at 3:05.
I think it's in Germany.
Hmm.
Could be wrong.
I think you're wrong because it's at 3:05. There's no 8 a.m. games this week. So, anyways, next game, Niners at Rams. This should be a good game. Niners don't usually lose twice in a row. Rams are without pretty much everyone, so I'm going to go with the Niners in this one.
Niners.
Next game, Lions at Cardinals. So this is a really good game. I'm going to go with the Lions, but I really want to take the Cardinals, but I'm going to take the Lions.
I hope the Cardinals win, but the Lions will win.
Next game, Ravens at Cowboys. Both teams 1-1 for the Cowboys, 0-2 for the Ravens. So both teams are really disappointing this far. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I think it's finally time they pick it up.
Yeah, this is a big game for both teams. It's Ravens at Cowboys.
Yep.
Going Ravens.
All right. So next game we have Chiefs at Falcons.
Oh,
Kirk,
Kirko Chains last Monday. Kirko, baby. Let's go, Kirko. Woo-hoo-hoo.
big game-winning drive, although that was
Just
more of
throwing
a.
darts, just slicing and dicing the Eagles.
Luckily, he didn't have to run too much on that drive. So
Doesn't have to run
the
when he's throwing lasers. It's a laser show in
yeah,
Philly.
that's exactly what scenario the Eagles don't want to get in. They don't want to get into the 2-minute drill with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a good player. I don't know about a good passer.
Kirko Chains has won 4 of his last 5 Monday night games. No biggie.
Yeah, so Sunday Night Football, actually, this one is. So you got Chiefs or Falcons?
Ah, it's at Kansas City.
No, it's in LA now.
Oh, it is. I'm gonna go Falcons.
I'm
Kirko.
going Chiefs.
Kirko.
I'm going Chiefs. I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to beat Patrick Mahomes on prime time. I just don't. I don't think see that happening. Jaguars at Bills. This is an interesting one. I'm going to go with the Bills.
Are the Bills 2-0 or 1-1?
I believe they're 2-0. I'll check. Yeah, they are.
But it doesn't matter. But I'm still go Bills.
Yeah. Next game, Commanders at Bengals. The Bengals have got to figure it out, so I'm going Bengals. That's the only reason why. They have 2 Monday night games this week. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'll go Bungles too.
All right, so that concludes this week. Big week actually. I don't. We were pretty similar. We had probably 4 games that were separate, so it should be close. But
Yep, there'll be a little bit of separation probably.
Yeah, I mean, we were tied for most of last year, if I remember correctly. We were tied at about 62% for a lot of last year, so we seem to be pretty even in our predictions for games. Although bold predictions, I kind of dominate it, which is what we're about to get into. You might need to take some layups and stop making predictions such as Cowboys will have as many defensive touchdowns as offensive touchdowns in week 1 to catch up.
That was just in honor of Zim. We love Zim.
So you want to start us off here?
Oh, this is Diggs week. So my first bold prediction, Diggs is going to go for 6 catches for 127 yards.
Are you saying at least
touchdowns.
6? Are you saying like at least 6 catches or at least for everything? Or exactly?
Sure. He'll have at least 6 catches, at least 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the Metrodome.
In the Metrodome, you want me to add that?
The return to the Metrodome for Diggsy.
Do you want me to add the in the Metrodome to your prediction to automatically make it wrong, or?
No, that's okay.
All right.
If I go to the game, I'm gonna wear my Diggs Vikings jersey. Is that good?
I believe we are going. The Skull Show will be there. All the members. Maddox was gonna maybe be on it this week. Again, opted out, so got to figure that out with him. But the 2 main people were there.
You should do an online or a poll right now during the Skull Show. So when you send out the taping, your viewers can vote on if I should wear my Diggs Vikings jersey or I should wear no jersey at all. Can you do that?
All right, I'll make a poll.
Okay.
So I'll give that one a touchdown prediction too, because it is a 3-way parlay. So 3 things have to happen. Yeah, I'll give that one a touchdown. So now you are still yet to make a non-touchdown prediction this year. So
go big or go home.
I'll make my first prediction. I'm gonna kind of do what you were doing, but I'll say different player. I'm gonna say Nico Collins will have at least 80 yards and a touchdown, and that's not a touchdown prediction, which is why I usually win these because you don't really need to take Hail Marys every time. But yeah. Would I say 80 yards?
Yep.
All right. Okay, you want to make your second bold prediction? You might. I'm not an expert, but you might want to not take.
Not do what?
Big scoring, having a 28-point fantasy week or.
All right, I'm gonna run it back from last week because I was just a week early. Old McDarnold had a football team will throw 3 interceptions.
All right. Will at least three or three exactly.
Three or more.
All right. 3+ interceptions versus Houston.
I mean,
I'll give
probably won't
that.
be more than three, but we'll start with three.
Should I give you a touchdown on that one? That's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
unlikely. So we're still you have to make a prediction without touchdown attempt. So I'll take a touchdown here. I will say. So I was pretty good at this prediction last year about. I said the Lions would finish third in the NFC and advance to at least the divisional round, which was week one prediction. So that's pretty good. So I'll make one similar to that. The Vikings will finish sixth in the NFC exactly, and will lose in the wild card round. Exactly. So
They'll finish what in the division?
they'll finish sixth in the NFC.
Oh, in the NFC. Out of 7 playoff teams.
Yep. All right. So would you say that's a touchdown one because it's pretty specific?
Sure.
All right. So that concludes our bold predictions. So now we just get into the normal stuff to talk about. Uh, Anything you want to talk about for the Vikings upcoming matchup? Obviously, Danielle Hunter, Diggs coming back, Grenard, Cashman going against Houston. Cam Akers might actually be the running back one for Houston because Joe Mixon's questionable, along with Damian Pierce. So that'd be interesting.
Cam Green Acres is the place to be, huh? Well, then we'll talk CJ Ham, though. We motivated CJ Ham. We saved his career because we both ripped him last week, and then he blocked a punt this week. So his agent can reach out to us after the show. We will take commissions for saving his season and career by the motivation that we gave him via the Skull Show. So that was a big thing last week.
Yeah.
For the Vikings game this week, this is the one I don't know about. I did pick the Texans, but only by one. But then I think the next 2 weeks they'll lose at Green Bay to Love, and they'll lose to Aaron Rodgers against the Jets. So the Packers fans are going to be loving that. And the Vikings fans are going to be annoyed.
I heard Love was back at practice today, which is kind of insane to me.
I think they'll just wait till the next week against the Vikings.
They should, but I don't know.
But you never know.
I feel like it's reversed. I think the Vikings will lose to the Texans and then beat the Packers only because I mean the Vikings and Packers usually split the season series and the Vikings usually lose the later in the season one and win the early in the season one. So I that's the main reason why. Jets, I don't really know about. I think the Vikings will probably lose that, but 3-2 to start a really tough 5-game stretch to open the season would be pretty good. So I mean, I think they'll get 3-2. As do you? I just think it'll happen beating the Packers instead of the Texans.
So we'll talk Zimmer real quick. We won't go too in depth, but I told you the other day that he gave up so many points to the Saints because he's trying to sabotage McCarthy's job and take it over. And I actually, not lying, heard this on the radio today. I think it was on ESPN radio, where actually one of the guys said that Zim's just trying to sabotage. He was joking, but it was kind of funny that he said that because that's what I said.
Yeah.
Zimmer.
I think you said off the record week one that Zimmer would become the interim head coach of the Cowboys.
Correct. So we'll talk about that later, but that could happen. The real reason they got crushed is he was just too mean to the players in the hallway this last week in practice. So he's gonna put on a smiley face, no pun intended to smiley, and really coach those guys up this week. So they might lose to the Ravens, but it won't be Zim's fault.
I would argue that if they lose to the Ravens, it'll be a high-scoring game, maybe like a 35-31 game. But I don't know. I think that if you watched last week at all, it's even though it's a 1 week sample size, I don't think it's that hard to take Smiley over Zim. I mean, Smiley outcoached one of probably the best head coach in the league, and Zimmer let up 44 points to Dennis Allen and
I think technically they said Brian Flores outcoached Shanahan because Shanahan's the offensive coordinator and Flores defense coordinator.
I mean,
because we can't
I
defend
know what you
Smiley.
mean, but well, that one play, uh, well, first of all, Darnold is not even close to the same guy he was in New York or Carolina, but
Early.
o- off of that, I think that well, actually, he might be the same guy as he was in Carolina because he started off 3-0, and
Ooh.
then pretty much from there. But speaking of Carolina, did you see Bryce Young is already benched for them? Andy Dalton's taking over.
Yeah, he's terrible. Um, the NFL is week to week; it changes so much. So that's why everybody's got to slow their roll. We'll see about Old McDonald had a farm. We'll see about Smiley. It's too early in the year to make too much of a bold statement one way or the other. And then injuries
But
play a role too. And Justin Jefferson is one injury away from turning into Byron Buxton / Ray Lewis / Carlos Correa / all the pitchers on the Twins team. Twins have
well,
more
I have
injuries than any team in the history of sports.
the Twins get the win today.
No, they lost in extra innings.
Wow. So
They're gonna not make the playoffs. The Tigers will make the playoffs. The
once
Tigers
again,
close with the pale hose, which is the White Sox, the last 3 games of the year. So that's 3 automatic wins. So Twins are toast. They just don't have enough guys.
I'll look at the playoff picture because I really don't know. Looks like I know that obviously the Tigers played like the White Sox, so they'll probably make it. But right now the Twins would play the Astros first round, like as of right now.
I don't see them
So
making it. The Tigers are on fire. They're going to sweep the Royals right now. They're up 4-2, 2 outs, bottom of 9 to pull within a half game of the Twins. Twins play Indians again tomorrow. Red Sox for 3, Orioles for 3 at the end of the year. Tigers have White Sox. Twins are toast.
um, so do you know if uh, what was I gonna ask? Oh, do you know if the Twins have a tiebreaker against the Tigers at all?
They do. They have it because they beat them head to head.
Okay, so that'll help. I agree with you though. I don't think they'll make it, but uh, yeah, that'll help. Anyway, so are we gonna see a live show coming out the U.S. Bank Stadium on Sunday? Is it gonna happen?
Uh, very very good potential. We'll have to see what happens.
I
Depends
don't.
how many fights there are during the game and if anyone comes out of it healthy enough to do this whole show. But very likely.
I haven't. We've said we would do it a lot, and we just kind of never think of it after the game because we're thinking about the game still. But we'll try to have to do that. However, I don't think the Texans fans are gonna be like that. But that reminds me, I was at the Raiders preseason game this year. Raiders fans take the cake for second worst fans that Vikings have faced that I've been to. Like obviously Eagles are probably worse, but Saints take
Saints.
number one. I think we all know why for that, but Raiders are in second place because preseason game and there was a drunk guy just screaming at the players in the fourth quarter of the preseason game, and he was swearing and everything with little kids in front of him. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
ridiculous. And if you watch, go on Twitter, aka X, aka Elon Musk's site. Uh, the Raiders played the Chargers, I believe, last week. Is that who they played?
yeah.
Or no,
No,
they
week
oh
one.
week 1. Yeah. Did you see
Raiders
all the
played the
fights?
Ravens.
Did you see all the fights in the stands?
I did not, but I believe you definitely.
A lot of fights. Raiders fans starting fights.
With the Chargers fans too. I
Yep.
mean,
At SoFi.
yeah, that would be an interesting fight to watch. But I mean, the Raiders fans are pretty bad. Saints obviously. So you were gonna actually go to the NFC Championship 2018/17/18, but you decided not to against the Eagles, right? Is that
Thank
true?
thank goodness. Yeah, I had my flights all set up. Then I canceled them. Long story short, I was going to get tickets through a guy I know that's friends with Trey Waynes, who was on the Vikings at the time. And
Mm.
I notified him on Thursday, and the players have to get their tickets in on Wednesday. So I didn't go, thank goodness, because it would have been the worst game in the history of baseball / football / any sport. And then it snowed like a foot of snow, I think, in Philadelphia, and everybody got stuck in the airport for a day. So it would have been miserable. So if we would have made it out of the stadium alive, then it would have been miserable. But we may have died in the game in the stadium.
Yeah, Eagles fans that if they're probably the worst fans. Although actually I hate to say it, but the best fans that I've ever been with might have been the Packers fans.
Oh yeah, Packers fans are great. They just like to party and cheer for their team, and if their team loses, they just want to go home and party more anyhow.
Yeah. So well, last year it was kind of like it was a lose-lose game because Kirk obviously tore his Achilles out for the year. Vikings season's over pretty much, and the Packers got owned by the Vikings at their home stadium. So that probably explains why they weren't so nothing was really going on because everyone was down. So, but
Oh, we should probably do a special skull show and as we get closer to basketball season to do a preview of the University of Green Bay women's basketball team since we got to know them so well during the game last year.
yeah, that's
They're
true.
big fans of the skull show, I hear.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, uh, yeah, we were right next to the University of Green Bay women's basketball team at the game. But do you know if they were good this year? I'll look it up.
I think they were pretty good actually. I think they made the tournament,
Did they really?
and they guaranteed us they would. But they
Mark.
play in a small conference.
Yeah. So they
But good for them. We're happy for them. I bought one of them nachos, I think, because
yeah they did. You did. They made March Madness and lost to Tennessee in the first round.
Oh, that's fine. If they would have made March Madness, I would be going to the game this year, hunting them down and hunting down that player that I bought nachos for to get her to pay me back.
The one girl you'd probably recognize, the darker one, she actually scored 9 points versus Tennessee.
Well done.
And I don't recognize any of the other ones. Was one of their names Maddie at all?
No idea.
Okay, so
one quick thing too on the Vikings quarterback situation for the future. The quarterback I want them to get is Arch Manning. Probably not likely, but that guy's going to be a stud.
yeah, he ran. I'm pretty sure he ran like 3 miles an hour slower than Tyreek Hill's top speed in his top speed, and it's like half a game that he played. He'll be good. Oh, big! Almost forgot about this big matchup coming this weekend. We got Iowa versus Minnesota.
Oh, for the pig. After the pig lives with PJ Fleck right now. Iowa's favored on the road by 2.5. Iowa will win that game, sadly.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Gophers are pretty bad. Iowa's pretty mid. So
both teams in the grand scheme of things are terrible in the Big 18 now, which is ridiculous. And then also the over-under in the game is 35. So that means that Vegas thinks both teams are horrid.
Yeah. I was below average and the Gophers are bad. Similar to how I predict the Vikings Giants game. So
well, we'll see. I don't really, as you know, care about college football.
yeah, other than prime time.
Especially now with NIL. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So this is kind of a hard thing to do, but do you want to make a Vikings season record prediction just now that they're 2-0, see if anything's changed? So what do you think their record will be at the end of the season?
I think we should wait until after this week.
Yeah, no, I'm just seeing what you think now.
Well,
I know it'll be better after this week, but
I think I said on week 1, 5 and 12 or something like that, but I was kind of being sarcastic. But my gut feeling at the beginning of the year, honestly, was the same as it is most years. When they played 16 games, I would say they're going to be 7-9 or 9-7. So I'll say I picked 7-10 last year, actually, if you remember, and they were 7-10. I think it'll be very similar: 7-10, 8-9, maybe 9-8, kind of somewhere in that ballpark.
So you want to make your official guess, just so if you're right, we can say.
I'll say 8-9.
My prediction, I'm gonna say 9-8 to sneak in as a 6th seed. I think that would probably get the 6th seed, maybe.
Yeah, it might 7 for sure. Probably.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. I don't know. I feel like the Vikings. Do you think they'll have any other big upsets this year? I think they'll beat the Lions one of the times. That's probably my biggest upset.
I mean, if the roster's healthy, yeah, they should beat the Lions once. But if they start getting injuries, they don't have the depth. then they'll be bad. And if the quarterback gets hurt, even though I don't think he's great, Nick Cotton-headed Ninny Mullins is terrible. And that would be miserable football to watch again. Remember how bad he was last year?
Well, he was really bad, yeah, but I don't know if that's miserable football. That was kind of entertaining, just him chucking it up.
Yeah, he would throw for 350 yards at 3 TDs and have 9 interceptions with 4 fumbles.
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining. He would just Kyle was actually at the Lions game, and he was pretty into it because Mullen's strategy is just throw it, hope somebody in purple catches it, and if not, then you'll get him next time. I wonder if he actually knows what team he's throwing to, because it seems like he's just kind of throwing it deep. He's like, Jefferson, go get it, or Addison, go get it.
That's why he's Nick Cotton-headed Ninny Mullins.
My analogy with him is that he's Josh Allen in a backup quarterback's body.
I just don't want to ever watch him play ever again.
I'd be fine watching him play again if the Vikings are tanking. I think he'd be a perfect tank quarterback because he'd be entertaining but not good.
Do they still have Jaren Hall?
No, he's on the Seahawks practice squad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got Brett Rypien, actually, who might start over Mullins now that I think about it. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, Mark Rypien's kid, Super Bowl winner. No biggie.
Yeah. But I actually think that Rypien would probably start over Mullins now that I think about it.
Maybe that'd be good, but either way, it wouldn't be good. So yeah, any upsets? I don't know. Yeah, they'll probably beat the Lions. They'll lose to the Bears in Chicago. They always do. Trying to think who else they play. I don't really know the back half of the schedule. I just kind of we go game to game, week to week. I do know who they play up to the bye week. After that, I don't really know.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too. I know that I don't know who they play up to the bye week, and I know they play the Lions after the bye week because that's when Hawkinson, I think, will be back. But other than that, yeah, I don't really know.
Well, we need to use this week to prepare. We got to get our stuff booked for the Titans game if we're going to that road game, so we got to figure that out.
Yep, and obviously we'll try to get a show after the Texans game reacting to it. If it's more likely to be a reaction if it's a close game or Vikings win. If the Vikings get blown out, I don't know if we'll be seeing a reaction just because I don't know if we're gonna care that much. So
I'll be home before the game is over, if that is the case. Yeah, I thought I was gonna say something, but that's about it, I guess. For today, for this week. Thought I was gonna say something, but it probably wasn't important. Oh, you got to remember to put that poll out there. I need to know Diggs Vikings jersey or other. And then you'll give me an update on the poll on Saturday evening so I know what to dress for Sunday. Let's go.
All right, I'll let you know. So that's about all we have. Vikings versus Texans week 3. If a win would be huge, but I think that everyone will be overblowing the Vikings at that point. I think they'll be projected top 3 in everyone's power rankings, which would be nuts. And I predicted Sam Darnold would start off hot, get everyone's hopes up, everyone wants to extend him, and then he would burn down and crash. So far, he's getting everyone's hopes up, maybe even mine a little bit. I think he'll be serviceable, but I think maybe we're at the point where he burning crashes. So,
all right, well, we'll see. Last thing I have to say is it's Diggs week, big week, Diggs week. Kirko chains, baby. Roll the boat, skull the boat, skull the boat, skull the Vikings. Roll the boat, skull Vikings. Let's go. Bye.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. See ya.